Hey guys, how are you? It's Brandon here. So today we are going to be talking about the global talent stream. So the global talent stream, the tech pathway to Canada. So this stream is actually really well known for, basically getting tech workers into the country very quickly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, let me just grab this. So I'm going to go through the history of the global talent stream. I want to talk about the benefits to workers and employers. I'm not going to get right into the program where I'm getting into the details as like really minute, but I'm going to give you a nice overview of which employers can hire and how they can hire and different things along those lines. Basically, there's two different streams. There's a category A and a category B. One is a designated partner referral and an in-demand occupation. And we're going to talk about that. That dovetails into the global talent occupations list. And then I'm going to talk about how to strategically use the global talent stream to immigrate to Canada, if that is your goal. All right. Because not only does Canada want to bring in the talent in this stream, they also want to retain the talent. Okay. Which means we want to keep you here. Okay. This is part of the temporary foreign worker program. It's administered by Service Canada. And it is the quickest stream. So if you're familiar, there's something else called an LMIA, which is a labor market impact assessment. All right. And there's different types of LMIAs. There's LMIAs for people who are academics. There's for low wage. There's for high wage. There used to be caregivers, and there still is caregivers for certain situations in certain areas. This does fall under that, but it's been adapted a little bit. Now, the history of this was originally a 2-year pilot program, right? And the idea is that we wanted to bring in and address like skilled shortages within the tech industry, which was moving very quickly at the time. What I'm going to do, I just actually have pulled this up and I want to put it in here. This was the original backgrounder, which the backgrounders are basically the announcements that are made when new programs come out. And you can see right here back in 2017 when it came out, we have something here. The new talent stream highlights the Government of Canada's commitment to the global skills strategy that the Minister of Finance announced in 2016 Fall Economic Update as part of Canada's innovation agenda. Okay, so this right here, this announcement is when this program came out. And this is more of the history of the program. So the idea is that the global talent stream is designed to help innovative companies recruit highly specialized and highly skilled global talent. They need to expand by providing faster and more predictable application processing. All right. So the reason that this is important and the reason that this whole program came out was because what was happening is the tech industry was saying, listen, like these workers, these specialized type of people that we need to bring in are very specialized, and we need to bring them in quicker because we're losing them to other places. And it's really affecting the innovation and the cycle that the high tech industry, which is a very fast paced industry, is moving. Okay. So that's a little bit of history on that. I'll just remove that from here. Okay, and we'll get back to the presentation. So, as I said, it was in there to bring in these workers. It was a test program for 2 years, and then they actually finalized it in 2019, so it's permanent. It was very successful. The industry absolutely loved it. I've used the program a number of times, and what I like about it, in comparatively speaking, it's very quick. And there's a different take on it with the officers when you're dealing with the Service Canada officer, and I'll talk about that a little bit, but it's not I don't want to use the word friendlier, but it's more of a collaborative process where people are, they're working with you to bring in the worker and to identify the need and to understand it. But at the same time too, it's not like you submit the application, it's accepted or not. It's they identify different things and try to maximize the benefits to Canada with the worker. Okay, and I'll explain that a little bit when we get into labor market benefit plans. Okay, so let's keep moving. So the benefits to the employer. Now, this is the fastest immigration pathway, right, under the temporary foreign worker program that's going right now. All right. Many of the LMIA steps have been removed to facilitate faster processing time. So instead of filling out the regular old LMIA that we have, we're doing something, it's called a labor market benefit plan. Now, a labor market benefit plan is a plan that's put together as part of the application. Okay, it encompasses this application, and you have different benefits, right? So there's mandatory benefits, and actually it says compulsory, but complementary benefits. Okay, so what that means is that they're looking at different ways to bring how this worker is going to bring more benefit and maximize that in terms of the Canadian job market, the tech industry. So what type of specialized knowledge is going to come in with this worker so that they're able to impart that on the Canadian workforce? You know, you can't basically say that, yeah, you know, this guy, bring him in, we're going to make lots of money as a company. It's all about developing skills and skill transferability. And we'll expand on that in a little bit. The benefit is, and the biggest benefit here is the 10 days. Okay. And I'll tell you what, I've had applications go in and literally had a call like the next day, you know, average time, you know, within 1 to 2 days. And they're like, I got to tell you, I can be very critical of, you know, government processing and procedures, but I'm also very complimentary when it actually is warranted. And I'll tell you what, this program, in my opinion, is beautiful to work with, and in terms of the way that they've rolled it out and how you can actually facilitate the back and forth with the officer. That's one thing that I really like. Okay, so that's one benefit. The other thing is too, and this was a big thing, is that it allows Canadian employers to be a lot more competitive in the global market. If somebody's truly specialized, they are in demand. They can go work anywhere they want. And with the amount of trade agreements and worker mobility programs that are out there, people can go anywhere, right? So, you know, and I've cited the US because the H-1Bs, right? People can come in, you know, look at Silicon Valley. You know, Silicon Valley wasn't built by, you know, Americans. It's been built by Americans with a lot of foreign talent and a lot of foreign help, right? So this is where a lot of people have been sucked into that, and there's a lot of brain power that's been pumped into that, and we know what that looks like, right? We're on Facebook right now, right? Employers can hire the talent that they require, they can get it quickly, and they can remain competitive in the rest of the world. So this program's been a huge success in that respect. All right, so let's move on. Let's talk about the benefits to the foreign worker. If the person wants to come and stay here, this is a nice, easy pathway to permanent residency. And the reason that it's a nice, easy pathway is that it gives you Canadian work experience, right? So if you're under this program, you're certainly in a 0A or B job right off the start. The other thing is that it gives you the option to be able to use those points to increase it another 50 points, right? LMIAs and all of the other stuff. It allows people, and I don't want to call anything out, but it allows people as a side benefit to the worker, it gives them the ability to actually get some permanence right off the bat. And we're seeing this in a number of different places, and I'm not going to call anybody out, but, you know, actually I am. You know, the H-1B program, for instance, in the US, like, you know, there's a lot of mixed messaging that's been coming out in the last couple of years where, you know, yes, we're going to do this, and no, we're not going to do this. And my experience is a lot of the people that I'm dealing with in the US, they're looking for some permanence, right? And they're on this H-1B program. They're putting in their skills. And what do they want out of it? They want to stay, and they want to be able to continue with their life there and all of the other stuff. So what happens is, and what we're seeing is, we've taken a lot of people from the US that are highly talented people. And the reason that I know that they're talented is not only are they in demand under this program, but I've seen people come out under the H-1B program. They come here and they're employed within a couple weeks in some cases in a very highly specialized job. Now, I don't know what they do per se, but what I do know is that they can come here, they're employed very quickly, and they're employed at a very technical type job and at a very good pay rate as well. I think as a side benefit to the foreign worker, there's a very fast pathway to permanent residence. And again, speaking about becoming a permanent resident, and then under NAFTA, now the USMCA, once you get a passport, then there's a transition if you want to go back and work in the US as well. Okay. So, you could have all of this stuff done before you actually, are even called up on your priority processing date under the US immigration system right now, depending on the country that you're from. Okay. So again, I don't want to call it out, but I guess I kind of did. But yeah, there's a lot of talent that's coming north here right now into Canada, and I'm working with a lot of it that's just looking for a permanent solution for the place to live so that they can start a life and their family. Okay, work permit processed in another 10 days. So not only are you able to, is the employer able to get their stuff processed in 10 days, right? The worker can get their work permit processed within 10 days, which is, in Canadian immigration terms, that's amazing, right? That's amazingly quick, okay? To be able to get all of that stuff done within 10 days and 10 days. The other thing is spouses, partners, children can accompany if they have an open work permit. If they're on this program, they can get an open work permit, or the kids can come and study. So again, because of the level of type of job that it is, and because of what they're coming in to do, the Canadian immigration system affords the foreign worker the ability to be together with their family under those criteria, if they meet certain criteria. Okay, let's move on. I'm going to talk about category A and category B. And what I'm going to do is actually, I've pulled up a section of the web page as well. So I'm going to run through my slide very quickly, and then I'm going to show you on the web page a little bit more detail of where that goes. In my presentations, I try to give you a bird's eye view of the program, and I try to do it in 45 minutes or so. Sometimes we go an hour, but what I'd like to do is I generally stay away from the web pages, and I try to put it in slides, but I would like to encapsulate some of this just so I can give you the details as opposed to just putting it on endless amounts of slides. Okay, so if you want to apply under this program, right, you're going to have to apply under category A or category B. Category A is a designated partner referral. And what this means is that the employer must be referred by one of the Global Talent Stream designated partner organizations. Okay, I will show you what those are in a second. Now, the second thing is they must be hiring for a unique and specialized talent, and they must be hiring somebody who's qualified to receive a salary of at least 80 per year or higher. All right, so 80,000 bucks a year or higher. I think it's 38 bucks and change, I think, if you're doing an hourly rate. Category B is an in-demand occupation. So the employer must be hiring to fill a position on the Global Talent Occupation List. Okay, so what does this all mean, right? What does this all mean? So let me show you what it means, because I'm going to pull that up for you right now, and I'm going to show you. Oh, there's the wages, $38.46 for 80,000 a year. That's what it was. So under category A, you can see this right here, list of designated partners for referral to category A for the Global Talent Stream. So you can see right here, they've listed them all out. And we've got like economic development corporations, we've got tech associations, Global Affairs Trade Commissioner Service is one. You've got different government organizations here, right? And then there's also investment organizations. So there's a number of different organizations that can actually be a referral partner and say, yeah, we've checked off on this and we want people to be able to come under this, okay? The Regional Municipality of Niagara, for instance, that's a newer one, I believe, that was in there. Town of Oakville, there's another one, right? Now, this is if you're going under category A, okay? So you got to meet those criteria and whatnot. And we were talking about that, but these have to be a list of the referral partners that are going to be able to do that, okay? And bring the person in under that program, okay? So, okay, So in order to be eligible for category A designated referral partner must validate the company meets the following. So the company has to be, this is what a referral partner has to do. So they have to make sure that if they're referring the person, they have a company that's operating in Canada. They have to be focused on innovation, right? This is a tech program. This is an innovation program. Has a willingness and is capable of growing and scaling up. Is seeking to fill a unique and specialized position within the company. And there's that 38 and 80,000. Okay. And they have to have advanced knowledge in the industry. They have to have an advanced degree in the area of specialization and or a minimum of 5 years experience in the field of specialized experience. Okay. Now, this is what they designate under the category A. Let's talk, I'm not going to go into much more detail. That's kind of the really high level of it. Now let's dive into category B. Now I'm going to go back to that page. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the list because I didn't want to put it all under here. So you can get an idea of the list here. And I'll go back to the slide in a second. But we've got computer and information systems, engineers, mathematicians and statisticians, right? Information system analysts, consultants, database analysts, software engineers, computer programmers, interactive media developers, web designers, computer network technicians, information systems, okay? And then we get into artistic type of things such as visual effects and video games, and digital media designers, et cetera, okay? These are the only positions under category B, and these positions have been identified by the government as in-demand positions. If you're going through the category B, you don't need a referral partner, okay? You can actually go through if you're under these NOC codes. Now, it does get a little tricky, and I want to warn you on that. You're like, yeah, I'm a web developer. I fit that. Okay. There's certain salary criteria, there's certain education, and you have to show that you're specialized in that area and you have some sort of advanced knowledge, okay? So as we can see here, it's ICT and STEM workers. Oh, what happened there? A little off today, guys, right? So you've got the STEM, the science, technology, engineering, and math. And we've gone over some of the design, the jobs there, and then I've given you the list of the NOC codes. Okay, this is all online, so you can have a look at that. And again, I don't want to spend too much time on that because I want to answer some of the other questions that we generally get in this program. Okay, because it's all online, anyways, guys. This is what I like. I always like talking about the strategy of things because this is where I feel that I can actually bring you some real benefit. And the reason that I say that is that, as I said, all of the information's online, but it's not really all online because that's more of an overview. There's the law, right? There's a book or an act, right? I just say it's a book because you have it in a book, but you can get it online, right? There's the Immigration Refugee Protection Act. There's regulations. There's a bunch of different procedures and things that have to happen. And then there's the webpage. So it is online, but it's, there's actually the nuances of it. But what I like to do is I like to talk about how to use this stuff strategically to be able to stay in Canada, because a lot of people do look at this as a permanent pathway for them to come and stay. I've dealt with this program, not like a ton, but enough to be very familiar with it over the years. Like there's some people that this is all that they do. I used to teach the program for a college for immigration consultants. And I know that there was one guy in there in my class, and he was a recruiter for the tech industry based in the Waterloo area, which if you understand Canada, know that that's a very like a tech hub. And he was only getting certified so that he could put these applications through to complement the recruiting. And that's all he wanted to do. And that's all he's doing, right? So I use this. I've used this a lot over the time that it's been used, but it's not like a huge, like, that's all I'm doing in my practice. Okay. But I can tell you, of all the times that I've used this program, I absolutely love it. And I also like the fact that a lot of the people, I would say every person that I've dealt with has wanted to come here, work here, make a life here, and stay permanently. The employer makes a valid job offer to the worker. Now, this can be just one step to a strategy that you can use to apply permanently through the express entry system. You can either use it for a federal skilled worker program. You could use it to complement a CEC, which I would probably suggest that you would look at. If you can get 1 year of skilled work experience in Canada within 3, which you will be able to do. And then you can use that to qualify, okay, and to go into express entry. The benefit is that you're going to get the Canadian work experience. You're already coming here and settling in easy because you have a job. And then what you can do is, you can be here with your wife and your kids if you're married. And if not, then, then that's fine too. That makes it easier for you, right? So again, in terms of like the strategy, so if you're working and a lot of the people that I'm helping in this program and who are using this program as a means are generally coming from the US. And I'm seeing a lot of H-1Bs that are coming up here. We're seeing a lot of companies that are actually coming north of the border to relocate here in an effort because they don't know, like some of the companies, what they're doing is they're setting up locations here because if there's a change in the H-1B program and they can't get their workers in, that's going to hugely hamper their effects. But from a worker standpoint, it allows them that permanence and that stability that allows them to get a foothold in Canada because a lot of times, that's what they're looking for. Okay, so I'm going to stop there for now. I'm going to just talk about my last little bit there. What I really like to talk about is the strategy behind things. People, when they're coming here, like if your end goal is to stay here permanently and this is just a tool for you, you should know what that looks like prior to actually coming through that. If this is just a means to an end for some people, and sometimes it is, right? Sometimes it is. They can work anywhere they want in the world, right? So it's kind of a give and take. But if you want to use this as a pathway to permanent residency, then you need to know what that looks like out here. And the reason I kind of do this, you always see me doing this, is what I do. The secret to what we do around here is we look at first thing I say to somebody when I do a consultation, what's your goal? What do you want? And I look out here and I say, what's your end goal? And then we work it backwards, right? And that's what I say to people. Like I'm very, very firm on the fact that anybody can come to Canada as long as they meet the minimum criteria. But where I see people fall off is when they don't plan and they don't have an effective plan at all. And then they kind of hum and haw. Now this, obviously, if you're going down this stream, is going to be a lot easier for you if you're already coming here under that, because you've checked off a number of the boxes that you need for permanent residence. However, education, age, and different things like that still do factor into it. And there might be some different strategy in terms of number of points with a family member or without. But either way, it's all the same. You need to come up with your plan, and then you need to make sure that you can actually execute on it. And that's what we do. We're here to just guide you through the process, and we're here to make sure that you can actually check what you need to do. And you're also thinking of things that need to be thought of prior to making a mistake. On that note, I'm going to leave it at that. If anybody has any questions, I can see those in the chat right now. If you do want to reach out to us, I'm just going to put up our information there. You can always reach out to us and we're more than happy to help. If you do have some questions or whatnot, feel free to just PM us or ask. And if it's something simple, we can help out. If it's a little bit more in depth, then we would obviously have to do a consultation with you. But by all means, just reach out and we'll see how we can help, okay? So I think what we're going to do is we'll leave it at that. If you do have anything, just put them in the comments if you're watching this after the live, and feel free to reach out. All right? So I hope everybody's doing well. Thank you very much for spending your time with us and obviously watching the video and all of that. And I hope you're doing well and having a great day. All right? Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching today's video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything Canadian immigration.